Hey everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it is time to continue our Machinist quests. Our minion for today is the BDI. Hello there. Stephanivian, what do you got for me today? Stephanivian is frustrated by the lack of movement evidenced by evinced by the wheels of justice. Yes! We're gonna get a big fucking drill! Satora, I trust your training fares well. I've heard naught on the fate of the manufactory and would welcome fair news from any quarter. Bad news, my lordship. We talked to a clerk who works at the congregation, and he says the accusation against the workshop ain't been lifted yet. What's worse, it seems they ain't inclined to pursue your case against Tettlegrinch neither. I do not understand. When I presented my evidence to the Temple Knights, the officer in charge seems convinced of our innocence. Ah ha ha, my dear naive Stephanivian. Truth is dictated by the victor, the one most skilled in strategy, the one most adept in maneuvering. One such as me. How dare you show your face in my manufactory? Have you no shame at all? Shame? Why, you're the one who submitted a forgery of my house to seal in an attempt to deflect your obvious guilt. Upon review of the evidence, however, the Temple Knights shall soon rule in my favor. But our sources were unimpeachable. Our innocence was all but proven. The twice-altered testimony of a commoner is hardly unimpeachable, and you cannot deny claims that the ailing House Halenar has been arming the lowborn and inciting them to seize their independence. We have all heard the shots fired within the city walls. You would twist and corrupt everything we have worked for. Ha ha ha, as I said, such is the privilege of the victor. If you wish, I might even be willing to teach you how to bend the situation to your advantage. We shall do well enough on our own. Now exit my manufactory ere you find your shiny armor doused with machine oil. You would spurn my generous advice. Will you truly surrender your last chance to demonstrate House Halenar's unswerving devotion to Ishgard's prosperity? There's a beast that has been harassing our supply trains of late. A menace that the Holy See greatly desires to see put down. Even cloistered here amongst your scrap-covered benches, you must have heard tales of the fearsome Very Selen. Very Selen? The same dragon that the Order of the Knights Dragoon has failed time and again to slay? He means to make a bloody show of you, boss. The Holy See has agreed to abolish your trial in exchange for the dragon's death. Pray send word when you are prepared to face Very Selen. I shall organize for a priest to be present and provide you with suitable bait. Me lordship, what did we do? Bah, I'll just confess it was me what was fired me weapon. You shouldn't have any trouble laying the blame on a drunken outsider, especially one what's known for his vicious crimes. That ought to get you off the insurrection charges at least. No, you cannot do such a thing. I live to have me life in a ship's cabin, and a prison cell ain't much smaller. You can pay me for the time in the brig after they let me out. Dude, you're willing to go to prison for us? Dude! You barely wanted to be here. I'll stop him, my lordship. By the fury, that man's full of surprises. My prospectometer had naught to say of this eventuality. Alright, Stephanivian, what's the plan? Are we gonna go kill that dragon? I cannot allow our instructor to sacrifice himself for the manufactory. We have no choice but to accept Tettlegrinch's impossible challenge. But I fear Rosenthal will not be convinced unless we prove we have a chance of defeating Very Selen. I do have a machinistry marvel in mind that might just do the trick. Its implementation, however, will require a large number of clear lightning crystals of the like found in the Sea of Clouds. It is said that the Vanu Vanu store such crystals for use in their tribal ceremonies. Pray steal into Okvunduvana and lighten their baskets a touch. Surely they won't miss a handful or two. Alright, into the Sea of Clouds then. Where exactly in the Sea of Clouds are you taking us? Where's Okvunduvana? Oh. Oh, boy. Okay. Exciting. Oh. Oh, we're going on a fucking journey today. Holy crap. Alright, well, good news is we've made it to Akzundu, so we might be able to actually make it there. Oh boy. I kind of wish we had flight. If we had flight, this would be easy. But since we don't have flight, I don't know how possible it's gonna be. It's entirely possible that we can't do this yet. Worst case, if we can't do this yet, I'll just swap this with another job quest and you'll see Machinist surprisingly late. Anyways, while we are making our big grand expedition in order to find these crystals, let's go over the changes to Machinist in patch 7.3. There were several changes, but none of them are actually changes at the level we are currently at. There was a change to Drill, which we're unlocking today, but since we're unlocking it today, it's not going to be a change for us. So yeah, all the changes for Machinists are above the level we're currently at, so not worried about that. So functionally no changes. Honestly, that ended up being true for quite a few DPS, or quite a few jobs in general, just like there are changes, but not at our current level, so this could be a little bit light for us as we go over patch notes throughout these job quests for patch 7.3. Okay, well, we're making progress. We still need to go higher up. I think, yeah, this way. Oh, no, 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 not doing this. All right, up we go. We're making progress. I'm going to say probably, yeah, head up this way feels like the correct route. It's going higher up and it's going into, oh, actually that's a dead end. Shoot. I guess we're looping around this way. It is genuinely entirely possible that this is not doable without flight though. The Sea of Clouds is just kind of like that, unfortunately. No, 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 we're going to be able to make it. We're going to be able to make it. Phew! I was getting a little bit nervous there for a minute. More than a little nervous. Alright, let's grab ourselves our loot. We got Langai Vundu to deal with. Easy. Give me that basket. Give me those crystals. But at the very least, it seems for the level 58 quests, they are trying to make sure that we have made a significant amount of story progress. Dark Knight required us to at least make it to the Churning Mist. Machinist requires us to at least make it past the vault. So, delightful. I guess worst case scenario, I could have contacted a friend and asked them to fly me up here with their own flying mounts. That would have been the worst case scenario, but I'd also rather not do that. That feels very cheaty. And I'm trying to avoid that type of cheese. I say, in spite of the fact that I, where is it, where is it, where is it? I say, in spite of the fact that I got very high level strength potions, as well as some lobster bisque that... Obtaining signature, awesome! I was gonna show that I crafted it myself on my main, but whatever. Yeah, some Dawn Trail raid food, some high-end raid potions. I got those for the turn 13 fight. Which, yeah, a little cheaty, but shut up. It was turn 13. And food buffs are still limited by your own actual stats, and our own actual stats were item synced to 130, so it wasn't that cheaty. Anyways, the good news is we got our lightning crystals, so now Stephanivian can make us a drill. For the machinistry marvel I have in mind, I will have need of the clear lightning crystals found in the Sea of Clouds. Got 'em. The ethereal balance of this crystal is tipped completely to the element of lightning. Not a single trace of any of the other 5 elements can be detected. The Vanu keep crystals such as these under lock and key, bringing them forth only to use in tribal ceremonies. Ah yes, these are wonderful specimens. These crystals shall allow me to broaden the capabilities of your ethereal transformer and via a more efficient process of energy conversion. I only hope it will be impressive enough to convince our instructor to abandon his foolish course. And we get Drill! It is an OGCD attack with a potency of 620, with a range of 25 yalms. 620! Get drilled, motherfuckers! We're going to cause so much pain. No. We want to put it there, I think. Or maybe there. We'll put it there. And I want to put it on my AoE hotbar as well. Alright. I've got a fucking drill, Stephanivian. Are we ready to go? Stephanivian has word on the situation with Rosenthal. One of our machinists just returned to report on the situation with Rosenthal. It would seem that Joy and some few colleagues have caught up to him in the pillars. Pray make your way to the scene and persuade the instructor to stand down. Well, let's hope this works. Yo, we have a fucking drill. 620 potency. 620 potency every 20 seconds. That's 1860 potency a minute. Y'all! It's a fucking drill! I love machinists! Hi, Joy! Did he shoot you? Satora, you've got to stop him! You didn't just kill some of our guys, did you? Should have known you'd be along. Now back off before I teach a student the meaning of point blank. I'm talking to you as well, Joy. Step aside. I bloody well will not step aside. Satora, take the fight out of him with a slug shot if you please. So that's how it's gonna be, eh? Come on then, we'll see who shoots first. Alright. Draw. Bloody hells, that was fast. Your students have tried to impress you, Rosenthal. And it's thanks to Satora's diligence that I was able to once more improve the tools of our trade. Even very selling cannot improve against the advances we have made in both technique and technology. You must have faith that our machinists will prevail. And though I appreciate your eagerness to occupy a cell on my behalf, such a sacrifice will not halt Tettlegrinch's crusade against the manufactory. You might be right about that. He's right about more than just that. You've got to stop underestimating what we're capable of. Ha ha ha! I keep forgetting what a stubborn lot I'm dealing with. You're the ones that are challenging the very stones what Ishgard was built on. Alright, I won't give myself up. On one condition. All talk of contracts aside, you let me help in the fight against this very sullen nightmare. You have always sought to avoid such entanglements before. What has changed? It's a matter of penance. Back when I was still in charge of the Kudas, I lied to telling me Stutter, please, Jesus, it's really bad today. I lied to my subordinates. Instead of serving the thalassocracy, I had the lads working to further my own agenda. It all came apart, though, when I set a glut of them off to die in a battle they had no business being in. I had my eyes on the Admiral's chair seat, but what kind of Admiral would do that? It was reckless and selfish and got a lot of good people killed. After they stripped me of my rank, I drowned myself in drink and took up the life of the worst kind of pirate. The soldier I tried to visit in Camp Overlook? He was one of my lads what survived. I've been sending him every coin I can spare to pay back my bloody debt, but there ain't enough guilt in the world what could buy off me guilt. And now, years later, I see a chance to undo the wrong I've done. A bunch of my students plan to charge into a situation they've got no business being in, and I plan to see them come out of it alive. Well then, consider yourself invited to the battle. Come, lead us in a pre-battle drill, Rosenthal. With my drill! Listen, drill's just a really fun ability. Once more, your skill at firearms has rescued the manufactory from peril. Let us head back there, shall we? Alright, sounds good. We're gonna need to prepare because this dragon sounds like an absolute terror, so we're gonna want to be as ready as we can be to take it down. Ah, Satora, there you are. I have sent word of our decision to Tettlegrinch. Even with the instructor's added firepower, however, I fear this challenge will test us to our very limits. Rosenthal has vowed to stay with us, regardless of the terms of his contract, until the sins of his past have been washed away in Very Selen's blood. Let us then take advantage of every moment we have from now until the battle to hone our skills to a razor's edge. Will do! I realized as I was coming in the door I forgot to change my clothes. Oh well. This is still warm, so we're fine. Next time on Final Fantasy XIV! What are we doing? Astrologian level 58. I'll see everyone next time for that.